You know, I tried to come up with another creative way to promote my website, but I couldn't come up with one, so here it is. Go to portraitartacademy.com for more tutorials.
That tells me you are not very creative. True artists are always creative.
I'll put a sock and a Vents on.
It is Vincent, and no, I do not like socks in my mouth.
But you eat French cheese, which tastes like dirty socks.
Ah, quiet you.
And then the rest of the mouth is also pretty dark, but not as dark. So just gonna lightly color it in. You can see it's starting to look like it, but there's something slightly off. And I don't like it. It's pretty good. It's just, and the teeth right now, they're pretty white, and that makes it look a little goofy too. I feel like these should also be a little higher. And so we're gonna use this 4H pencil and make them gray, because they are gray. Now look, that looks pretty close, but there's a problem with this. Right here is a little lower, so that, and maybe that's because I was looking at it from a little bit of an angle. This line, I have a purpose in life. Yeah, stupid eraser. Here, we're gonna make all of this just a little lower. Now, it lines up better. This is why you should hold it as closely as possible. Because 1 millimeter off could make a difference. Okay, we're gonna color this in. Yeah, here's a little bit of a highlight, but I'm not gonna emphasize that as much. Yeah. Up, 4H. Okay. Now, here's a tooth. There's a tooth. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's see. There's this one on the side here. And there's this one, a sharp one. See that? And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I got 4 teeth that I gotta do here, but this one has to look a little sharper too. And this one's a little higher, not by much. I feel like I could just kind of divide it into 4 here. I gotta be very careful with this stuff. Teeth are so hard. I tell people that pose, like for live portraits, I tell them, look, you can show your teeth if you want, but then it's gonna take longer, like a lot longer, because I want to get them right. Now, we're gonna use this to make it even darker over here, even darker over here. This is very dark, and also this, look, this needs to be more like straight up. It's like there's too much of a gap between her two front teeth at the top. There it is too. These teeth, man. And they're all gonna be gray because they are gray, but not too gray. I'm gonna use an HB pencil for this one, just to define the lines a little better. And you need to indicate a little bit that there's the gums right there. I feel like these ones on the side don't deserve as much highlight. So we're gonna make those a little darker. This a little thicker. This a little wider. And this a little darker right there. The ones on the side, they need to be darker. This needs to be darker too. Yeah. And the bottom is a little darker than the top. And there you have it. Now a bit more of the highlights and the shadows on the lips. Sheesh. Yeah, teeth. That's what I mean. Like, even if a person traces all the outlines, it's still gonna have a hard time with details like this, because you can't trace that. Now look at this. Looks a lot better. Now this is so dark that you feel like, okay, this all needs to be a little darker too, because compared to this, it's too light. And so then you just adjust that. You become a little bolder, you start putting more shadows in there. This needs to be a little darker. The worst is over. The worst meaning the mouth. People are always like, oh, I hate doing eyes. Eyes are easy. Well, that's my opinion, at least. I don't think eyes are the hardest part. I think mouths, and especially open mouths, are the hardest part. And teeth. Let's see, this one here has got some curls over there. Now look, we don't have a dark background, so we're just gonna draw these white lines with surrounding gray lines. Unless we make a dark background here so we can have the white stand out. You could do that too, but I don't feel like doing that right now. I don't think that's necessary in this one. I kind of like it the way it is. This makes it look really nice. Thing is, maybe I'll come back to this later and go like, wait a minute, and then you immediately see it. That's another thing that you always get with portraits. It's good to always step away for a moment and come back later and then go, oh, now I see it. Because sometimes you're just so caught up in drawing all the details, and we take a step back. You're like, yeah, it looks like it, because you're so caught up in the process. Then you come back and then you'll immediately like, wait, something's off. And yeah, this is a 3B pencil. There's a few here, here. Those are pretty dark. Right there. Right there. Right there. I also feel like this right here needs to be a little darker.